Come on, boys. First round's on me.
You owe us way more than that.
Welcome back to Disney Marvels for the week of December 26th for the last time this year, 2021. This is episode 158. Disney Marvels, the show about Disney, Marvel, Lucasfilm, Muppets, Pixar, 20th Century, the parks, and much, much more. If it has to do with Disney, it's fair game. I'm your host, Matthew Graken. Yes, the polls are back, folks. The polls are back. And I only did get onto Twitter, and I also got it onto Spotify. Twitter, a combination of the two, so I wanted to know, have you seen Spider-Man No Way From Home yet? And if so, what did you think of it? You got our answers last week on the podcast with Isaac and my wife Kim, and mine, and I wanted to find out yours. So, the options were: absolutely loved it. Absolutely. It was fine. Didn't care for it, or I haven't seen it yet. Well, 33% of you who answered this poll haven't seen it yet. For a $1 billion movie, congratulations, Spider-Man No Way From Home. You are the first post-pandemic $1 billion movie. You are the biggest movie of the year. And one of the biggest movies in a long time. Congratulations. That's quite the achievement. Theaters are loving it. People are loving it. So 33% of you haven't seen it yet. The only other response was 67% of you absolutely loved it. So either you haven't seen it, or if you've seen it, you've absolutely loved it. Which I understand. I completely understand. I was speaking to someone, they said it was good, but they like some of those other superhero movies that don't involve Stanley intellectual property at all in it. So that's fine. That's their opinion. You can. I'm not telling you what movies to love and hate or whatever. But they still enjoyed it. That was fine. They just liked the other movies better, and good for them. Me personally, I loved it. You got my score last week, 8 out of 10. But moving on, Christmas has passed, Boxing Day is back. Happy Kwanzaa to all celebrating Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa time is here and counting and going. And as I said, this will be the last episode for this year. 2021 will be coming to a close. Some of us say thank goodness for that. That's what we said for 2020. Things have moved a little forward and a little backwards. 2022, right around the corner. And we look forward to continuing this journey together in the next year. Got more stuff planned. We'll see what the year brings us. But that being said, I want to wish you all a happy, healthy, and safe New Year. May 2022 be better than the past and bring you all the bright and promising things the future can hold. After this message is from our words and sponsors, we'll be back with our year in review. And now, on with the show.
Save the city, help us win. Save us all from the state we're in. Things look dark, but I know this can't be the end.
2001 is now finally wrapping up its run.
2001?
Yeah.
2001. It's been over a decade. Yeah,
Over 2 decades.
2 decades.
Hold on, pass that eggnog over here. Let's try this again.
2 decades, man. Wow.
I told you it was a long day.
Jeez.
It sounds like it's been a long millennium.
Yeah. Jeez.
2001's coming to a close.
Oh man, that's
Day now.
probably the first Spider-Man came out.
Yeah, it was.
Sam
It
Raimi's
was.
Spider-Man showed up, man. Oh, dude. Sure, you were watching it? I was like, "Are you sure you reviewed the correct Spider-Man, Matt?" Like, I mean, if that's the case, so you can bring that up. Oh man, that's hilarious.
Start over.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
please
hope-
leave that in. I'm begging you to
Oh,
leave
I
that.
hope so.
I
Unless you
might.
want to review a decade in 2001, then yeah, we could do that too. I mean, I'm not gonna remember shit, but yeah, we could.
Isaac was 5.
Yeah. Now I was in high school. What are you talking about? Yeah, freshman year.
Yeah, but I'd hate to say though, unfortunately, I wouldn't say it was much of a better year.
Yeah.
Right. 2021 is coming to a close,
Yeah.
and all the eggnog has been consumed, and then some. The presents have been wrapped under the tree and unwrapped. And it's that time of year for us to sit back, relax, and reflect on what this year has brought us, besides a lot of tissues and some wonderful eggnog. And to do and enjoy this time of year and enjoy this spell, we have the fantastic hosts, Isaac and Matt, joining us as it's become a yearly tradition of shenanigans and malarkey as we discuss the year 2021. Gentlemen, thank you for coming aboard again.
I came to talk about 2011. Why am I here for? You didn't say anything about having to talk about 2021.
So we could we could absolutely discuss 2011. It's a new topic. We haven't touched on that one yet.
Sure.
I don't know what you're
Or
talking about.
2001. Either pick whichever one you want. We could do a little bit of 2001, a little bit of 2011, a little bit of 2021, and we'll go from there.
Well, we just talked about Spider-Man No Way Home last week,
Sure.
which would be 2001, 2011, and 2021.
There you
I'm
go.
more of a 1991 type of person, so I don't know what you guys. So it's all right.
Oh, that's Batman.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
There you go.
There you go. And the
Michael-
animated Spider-Man animated series. There we go. Now we're talking.
Oh, yes.
X-Men.
Spider-Man.
X-Men
Spider-Man.
No, it's a lot. It's sooner than that. Probably.
X-Men came a little bit later.
90,
Just
I think
a little
probably
bit later, and they
95.
will
I think
be
it was
coming back.
95.
92, 93, I think, was X-Men.
I think it was 95.
Yeah, it was about
No,
95.
X-Men was earlier than 95.
Yes.
93 or 95.
What are we taking bets on?
I'm not taking bets on.
I'm not thinking. Yeah, I'll say 95.
No, it was earlier than 95. It was like 93.
Oh, really? He's
92.
92.
See?
Okay, he was close. He was close.
Yep.
I was gonna say 92.
92.
So 2021 is coming to a close. You know, my daughter, when I was coming in to do the show, I said I'm doing a thing with the podcast tonight, and she warned me. She chided me. She said, "You and Matt better stay on topic because she's done a show with us and she knows how we get." And I said, "No, we're doing it's an end of the year thing. We got another guy in with us. We're gonna stay on topic." And I'm not gonna let her listen to this show because she won't let me live it down. That
We're not 5
Yeah.
minutes in.
And within 5 minutes, everything's falling apart.
it's
Like
completely off the rails.
right on time, right on schedule, right?
Well, it just like the year. It's pretty much everything's off the rails.
Even for us, this is bad, Matt.
I said shenanigans and malarkey at the opening, didn't I? At one of
You
the
did say
openings.
shenanigans and malarkey. You also said 2001, so you know.
I'm waiting for Hal. Okay. Yes.
All right. Let's
I'm afraid I
talk
can't
about,
do
let's
that, Dave.
talk about 2021.
Please.
Let's do it. Let's stay on course.
So where should we start? We could start with Disney Plus. We could start with Disney Plus, or we could start with. I think the most, anything that was happening was Disney Plus at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, because we were all still kind of stuck inside.
Yes.
Mostly.
I would totally agree with that. Yeah. I really wouldn't know. I mean, Disney Plus was really interesting, and it's so weird because a lot of things dropped. Like Black Widow dropped on Disney Plus, correct?
Yeah.
What
Was it just Disney? No, it got the split.
Yeah.
Black Widow
'cause
got
that
the
was
split.
the whole-
It was the theater.
That was the whole sort of thing.
Situation? Yeah.
Yeah.
With whole Black was that, and what else dropped? I feel like wait, didn't season 2 of the Mandalorian end in 2021?
No, that ended.
that was last
That's
year.
2020.
That was still
Yeah.
2020.
Okay.
Yeah, that ended right before the new year.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh, okay. You know what? I'm thinking about no, two shows dropped, right? WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier were this year, or
And Loki.
2021.
And Loki and
all
Hawkeye.
three of
cousin.
them,
Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Everything.
and Hawkeye. Wow.
Yeah.
So almost a lot of 4 shows dropped within a year, or is that correct?
5 if you
Yeah.
want to count What If.
That is true. Yeah, and What If? Yeah, you're absolutely right. And what about anything Star Wars related? I think
Visions.
Visions was the only
The Star
thing.
Wars Visions and the ship and
Which I-
planet fly-throughs, which that was more just like background type of stuff.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
really-
the Star Wars Visions, which was the anime studios doing their
Yeah,
own Star Wars stories.
Japanese animation stuff. I have not had an opportunity to watch that, so
And
I definitely have to
Ewoks.
jump into that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they brought the Ewoks back.
They brought the Ewoks back.
Yep, those are
And the animated Boba Fett thing from the
The Christmas.
holiday special.
Hmm.
My son loves the Ewoks.
Oh yeah.
I remember watching that.
I remember watching it when I was his age.
Yeah.
And I actually found out about it, even rewatching it with him now some years later. Even watching it now, I was really impressed. Like, this is actually a pretty good show. This is a pretty I was very impressed by it.
Okay,
I'll have
so
to go back and watch it because I was a little nervous about how would it be X number of years on.
No, it holds up. It holds up.
And you know what?
I
I've told
never
you.
watched.
It's very weird because the first season doesn't feel like anything else. If you sort of look at the other shows that were on TV at that time, it doesn't feel like any of those. And then when they go into the second season, they had changed animation companies, animation houses, and things like that, and writers and things like that. So the second season feels a lot more like the other stuff that was on Saturday morning cartoons at the time. But the first season feels like just a completely different thing. It does well. It holds up.
Oh, you're talking the animated one. I was just thinking the live actions.
Oh no, the live actions I haven't. I heard that those are awful. I heard those are. I have not.
I do remember those. I remember
I haven't had the courage to sit down and watch those, but the animated.
That's what I was talking about. Okay, yeah, the animated. I haven't gone back to that. Ewoks and droids. But I do remember watching those. We also got.
So here we are talking about 2021, and now we've just jumped to 1985. This is really.
I'm going to do you one better. I'm going to go back to 1976 or 7.
Oh please! Are you about to say what I think you're about to say? Do it. Say it.
I am. Almost all 5 seasons of the Muppet Show was gifted to us this year.
Oh, nice.
Baby.
Nice.
Almost all.
Almost everything.
Yes.
I've always been a Muppet Babies person. That's just kind of I guess that's just kind of just showing you where my
I'm just going to
age
sit
is
back
at,
and let
so-
Matt take over from this point.
Oh.
So.
What do you want me to say? I can't. There's no words for it. We've been waiting for this for so long. I was so thrilled to go back and watch some of these episodes and some of these things that I just loved as a kid. And I was disappointed to see the stuff that to not see the things that weren't there. Some things I understand why they're not there. That's a topic for another time.
We covered that.
I don't think did we? I didn't think we covered that. There is an episode that's missing, and I understand why, and it's a little upsetting because there's some really solid material in there, but there's a good reason why it's not there. But other than that, it was just such a thrill to have to be able to sit down and watch all of these old shows and revisit them, and that was like just a gift to have that.
Yeah, that's cool. Again, I haven't really watched them up, so I wouldn't know. So
back on
you don't know what you're missing
119.
Might have to check it out. I definitely have to check it out.
Is it up to, because there were 2 episodes that were missing? Are they back? Are they? Oh no, yeah. That's 100.
No, I say we discussed it on episode 119 in January.
Okay. Because there are 119 episodes. I think it's only 100. There are 120 episodes total. I think there are only 118 on Disney Plus.
Yeah, there's like 2 or 3 that they did pull.
One for reasons.
Yes.
Oh right, we talked about it, but we talked about it before it had. We talked about
before
it
actually came out.
But before they had actually dropped, so we didn't even know whether stuff was going to be missing or what was going to be missing.
I think we speculated that there was going to be some stuff that they had to cut down. Despite the fact of how much we credited Jim for being as sensitive and caring of an understanding of a person, particularly for that time. And they've
handled that by adding the disclaimer at the front of the show, and there was a backlash for that, which was the dumbest thing that I like. Why are people getting mad about a disclaimer? Somebody brought up a really good point, which is that there was all this noise about the disclaimer, and like, oh, it's this, which was up for like 10 seconds before the show, and somebody pointed me that the crummy Marvel Cinema Universe, the Marvel Studios logo runs longer than the disclaimer. Scared.
And again, it's not like they took anything out. It's just now it's just here's a disclaimer. This was me during a time where we weren't semi-acceptable, even though it kind of wasn't acceptable. Now it's not acceptable now, and we just want to let you know that. That's some
of the Disney collection tins that I have from several years ago that Leonard Maltin did. He verbally put a disclaimer in front of a number of the old Mickey or Donald or Goofy shorts, saying, "Okay, we are preserving this for the sake of art. We know now." You kind of knew then, but we know now that it's not right, and we're not saying it's right. But for the sake of preservation and for art, we've left it as it is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
that's it.
Yep.
That's it. That's not that bad.
But Isaac, listen to me. Watch the Muppet Show, man.
Yes.
If nothing else, season 3, Harry Belafonte, it doesn't get better than that.
Oh.
I'm gonna definitely check. It's not to say that I haven't, because I have watched a couple of episodes of the older Muppets, so it's not like I've never had. It's just I've never really watched it straight through. So.
John Cleese is another good one.
What's the other one?
Cleese.
Oh yeah, John Cleese is good. John Cleese is right. There's a couple really good ones. Paul Simon is funny. If you like Paul Simon, I love the Paul Simon episode as a favorite.
I'm actually I think my introduction to Paul Simon's when he went to South Africa was Nelson Mandela track. That's my introduction to Paul Simon. Not Paul Simon, not Garfunkel is that.
The Muppet Show was my introduction to Paul Simon.
Paul Simon, yeah.
It's worth it. He does a good job.
Yeah. And he sings Bodyguard with Chevy Chase. That was pretty much it.
Yes. So yeah, let's see. We had the Star Wars Visions. We had Falcon and Winter Soldier. We got all 5 seasons mostly of the Muppet Show.
Yep.
WandaVision, which started off slow but really got some stuff going. Loki, which I think hit the ground running and kind of just went straight through it. That was my favorite of the series so far. I've
Okay.
enjoyed them all, but
That was your
personally,
favorite?
yeah,
Okay.
Loki's my favorite of the Marvel ones.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. I would have to say mine's was I would have to lean towards Falcon and Winter Soldier was my it was my most anticipated out of all the series when they first said they were going to start doing Disney Plus shows, and up to this point it still holds up. It still holds up as
Oh,
a
absolutely.
really good show. So
That one's a heavy hitter.
I totally enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I mean, although you know, I didn't think WandaVision would have been as good as it was aired, and Loki was, I will admit, like a surprise hit for me too, because I really didn't think Loki would have been as good as those two, and you really do appreciate the same like strategy that they take for the movies, they do it for the shows, getting different directors, giving different feel, really trying to diverse themselves, but also still sticking within the MCU formula. So that you really have to sit down and appreciate. That you're still getting different takes of
And
MCU
given more
television.
time to flesh these characters out.
Most definitely, because a lot of these characters like Wanda and Vision and Sam and Bucky were just kind of like too big. They were in the background against like Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, and all the other guys. So, yeah, it's great to have these television shows where you have an opportunity to be able to flesh all these characters out, and so much that Disney kind of is now letting Kevin Feige pretty much run everything in Star Wars. They're doing almost the same exact formula for Star Wars, allowing characters that we haven't seen flesh out between cartoon and as in television, and giving
Well,
them their own
that's
chance to talk
Filoni.
about that. Yeah,
Yeah, that's Filoni right there.
yeah. Oh yeah, Filoni. Yeah, I think, but doesn't Kevin Feige kind of still oversee everything though? But I think he gives it to Filoni though, right?
No, Feige, they gave some potential Star Wars stuff too that he's going to be doing a series, maybe movie wise,
Okay.
in the future. But
Everything's Filoni now.
Kathleen Kennedy oversees Lucas,
Okay.
even though Filoni's pretty much running a lot
Really
of
running
this
the
show
ship.
stuff. And
Yeah, I heard that a lot of people were not really happy with Catherine in Lucas Arts. Am I wrong on that?
anything that goes wrong, they blame her for it.
Right.
Okay, so she's really there as a fall woman in case things don't look right.
Well, she's just the pinpoint, but they keep renewing her contract. So,
Okay.
as from a fan point, the fans like to beat her up. But if you look at
Okay.
her book of work, she's been involved in a number of really big
Okay.
projects.
Yeah,
I
she's
gotcha.
been involved with Lucasfilm for close to 40 years.
Gotcha.
I mean, going back to some of the Indiana Jones stuff, she's
Right.
Okay, so she kind of knows the workings of Lucas of
Yeah.
how Lucas.
right. She was picked by George.
George. Cool.
By
Disney didn't pick her. George
Gotcha.
picked her.
Gotcha. Okay, that's cool.
But it's so funny because it's the Star Wars fans who beat her up and are like, oh, yeah. But here's the thing. The reason that George Lucas sold in the first place was because he got tired of the Star Wars getting beat up by the Star Wars fans when he did the prequel movies.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's, guys, stop being jerks.
Yeah.
Star Wars fans need to stop being so toxic and stupid. It's a movie.
Be glad that
don't
you
like
have
it,
what
don't
you
watch it.
have. Because
Yeah, a lot of gatekeeping.
yep.
It's funny
Yeah.
how much gatekeeping for people that never created it, and they're like, "This is what's supposed to happen," but you never ever like created it. So how would you know? Like, how would you know this was supposed to happen? You didn't. You weren't. You
Well,
weren't
I
not
think-
in the
in the room.
rooms. You didn't
I
write the
think that was
script.
kind
You didn't
of
do
like-
anything.
I think that was kind of the thing. If you go back and you watch the first Star Wars movie, there's the scene in the first scene, real major scene with Luke and Obi-Wan, where Obi-Wan starts talking about, before the dark times, before the Empire, and your father was Darth Vader was a student of mine, and and all this stuff. And they sort of give you everything and don't give you everything at the same time. And there's so much that we as fans were allowed to just sort of have as our own, and play that scene in your imagination for almost 20 years. We were all able to play that out in our imaginations, and it existed for each of us, and it existed differently for each of us. So when the prequel movies come along, and George Lucas starts telling, and suddenly you have all these people going, "Wait, no, that's not how that's supposed to happen. Darth Vader's not supposed to be a kid. There's not supposed to be some giant fish person talking in a bad accent." All these things. Yeah. That was never in my version of Star Wars, but that actually is Star Wars now, and you have to just sort of deal with it. And somehow we've jumped from, we were talking about 2001, and now we're talking about 1999.
Yeah.
This is great.
A theory I have, before, not because we would like to stay off topic, is that anything that gets really big like that, Star Wars, Harry Potter, Star Trek, you name it, anything that has a really big, strong following, when you start to get towards either the end or you start getting further into sequels, especially if you have to wait longer for them, is that the fan base starts coming up with their own theories. Right. And a lot of people start believing so much in their theories that, mine is going to be correct. Right. And whenever it's not, Game of Thrones is another one. When their theory is not what actually plays out, they're up in arms. Yeah. And it's just a matter of just people speculating too much. I remember when the last Harry Potter book was coming out, and everyone's, just waiting, and to fill that time of waiting, because people don't like to wait, people were creating this is how it's going to happen, and this is how it's going to happen, this is how it's going to happen. And look, if you go back here, the letter J is actually written this way for that reason, because it will link to this. And when that doesn't pan out, this is absolute garbage. Well, no, this is what the author, the creator, the head of whatever, thought this is the direction it should be. Is it what you wanted? No, but I'm sorry, it's not your story to tell. You write your own.
But to counterpoint that, there's a theory. Mike Nesmith of the Monkees, who recently passed away, used to talk about, as an artist, once you create something, it is no longer yours. It is, who does it really belong to? It's now it kind of becomes part of the audience too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think there's something for that. But I think your audience gets upset in the case of like something like Star Wars or Marvel. I think your audience gets upset when they're sort of told, like, no, this really is not yours. It's
yours, but it's not.
It's yours, but it's not.
It's not how they would have drawn it up in their own mind.
No,
right.
Everybody has their own interpretation about it, but
Well, what I have to say,
beauty of art,
But as far as Star Wars, be glad that you have the Star Wars, because with where Lucas was taking things, you were getting a couple of shows on Cartoon Network, and that was it.
Yeah. There
was no more movies planned. There was no more nothing. Even though he said, I'm going to work on movies. He said that whenever he finished Jedi, that, it's going to be movies every 2 years.
Yeah.
And how long did you have to wait? So, be glad that there is now a continuous source of expanding details and expanding stuff. We got a lot of things looking forward to in 2022.
And you don't have to consume all of it and watch all of it and enjoy all of it.
No,
you enjoy what you do. There are things that Disney has done with Star Wars that I've really enjoyed. Mandalorian was very good. Rogue One was very good. Solo, I thought, was very good. Rebels, I've enjoyed. We've talked about it. I didn't care much for the sequel movies for various reasons. But you don't get, as I've said several times here on the show, you don't get all up in arms about it. I just don't think about it.
If you didn't enjoy it, you don't have to watch it.
I don't watch it again. I don't have to watch episode 7 again. If I want to watch Star Wars, I I watch Star Wars. I watch Return of the Jedi, or I watch Mandalorian, or I watch whatever. You know, you don't have to make a big stink about it and scream and yell.
I agree. I agree.
Sorry, I've wandered. What were we talking about?
Yeah,
WandaVision of how people got upset because they were insisting Mephisto was the main bad guy behind it, and it was Agatha all along.
There you go.
Which I thought was a great twist. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Neither did I.
I didn't see her presence. I didn't even. You know, it's Agatha Harkness is such a sort of third-tier character, Marvel character, that at no point did I stop and go, "Oh, I know who that is. That's Agatha Harkness." And then she went, you know, the reveal of who she was. It was like, "Oh, duh, of course. Who else would it be?" You know?
Hello.
You know, speaking of that, and to cut into that now, speaking of like Z-tier characters, you know, earlier this year they did sit down at D23 to announce like Agatha is going to get her own show. What do you guys feel about that? Do you feel like her character is strong enough to be able to carry like a 10 to 6 episode series, or should they just kind of left her as a side character moving forward? Because I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Catherine Hahn. I think she was fantastic, but at the same level, I just don't know if I feel like we're kind of digging into the bottom of the barrel of characters that we can try to make television shows with.
Right.
My take, two things on this. Feige, I trust, because besides one or two movies, he really has yet to truly steer me wrong. Mm-hmm. And Loki would be the other example. I mean, okay, how are we going to sit here and watch a whole series about the god of mischief, you know, causing problems?
I feel like Loki was okay because Loki was a very mean character.
But he's a strong character. You know, you got
he's a very strong character. Agatha, like really.
Agatha really is down there on the list of Marvel characters. She's not a known entity the way Loki is. Yeah. And you and I talked about that, Matt, back at the fact that even when we were talking about the Loki, when we first talked about the Loki series, that there was this sort of Wanda and Vision are kind of known characters. They're sort of B-level characters. Winter Soldier and Falcon are sort of B-level characters. Loki is an A-list character.
Yeah.
Hawkeye is kind of sort of A-, B+. Well, I haven't watched Hawkeye yet, so I don't know. But it's sort of, I don't know. I think if there's a story there to tell, but is there a story to tell? I think you got to wait to get through Madness.
Multiverse of Madness.
Right. Oh God, my brain is shot tonight.
Yeah.
Multiverse.
Not enough eggnog.
No, too much eggnog.
This series is coming at some point, but I don't think we have even just like a real glimpse of. It could be next year. It could be 2 years from now.
Right.
It's something that's down the food chain of.
And really, I think it's gonna be if they're gonna do it's gonna be a while down because there's so much else that's gonna be. There's Moon Knight, there's She-Hulk, there's whatever else, all coming at it. I don't even Armor Wars, Secret Invasion, Marvel,
Ironheart.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much content that now that they are really are building up, that's coming in the next 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
We're securing this now. In all fairness, we may see it. There's a very good chance we see it. There's also a probability we may not see it and morphs into something else.
Right.
Yeah.
Really, what they wanted to do.
There's already Star Wars stuff that they've announced and pulled.
Yep.
Or
Squadron.
announced and pulled and evolved into something else.
Yeah. And speaking of that, out of all those new shows that they've announced, which one are you kind of like intrigued? She-Hulk.
She-Hulk. I love She-Hulk. She's one of my favorite Marvel characters.
Cool.
So I'm so thrilled to see She-Hulk. Beyond
yeah.
Secret Invasion, I'm looking forward to because I loved that storyline in the comics.
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to that one. I'm looking forward to Iron Wars because I
Wars,
love.
I'm looking forward to because
I
I
love the War
Machine.
Machine.
My other
Yeah.
War
favorite.
Machine.
And what else was I gonna say about that? War Machine is my other favorite, and I just love Don Cheadle. I'll watch Don Cheadle do anything. I'll watch Don Cheadle read
Don
the
Cheadle.
phone book.
That's great.
I just love Don Cheadle.
Matt Leonard.
Yes.
I know because I figured you guys are goes Matt. I should go Matt 1 or Matt 1 at 1 and 1 Matt A. I don't know.
I'm at 3.
You're Matt 3.
I'm at 3.
Yeah, no, but I agree with you. I'm looking forward to She-Hulk because I just love Tatiana Maslany's character. I think they picked a phenomenal actress to play She-Hulk, and I think she's gonna knock it out of the park because I was a big Orphan Black fan when I watched her. She was amazing on that show. So the fact that she's now part of the MCU machine, I think she's gonna be great. And the fact that she's gonna be bouncing off with Hulk's character, I think that's gonna be amazing. So yeah, I'm looking forward to She-Hulk because I think it's gonna. Did you say it's gonna be more like an Ally McBeal comedy in a way?
Yeah.
It's
gonna. You got some fun stuff you can do with She-Hulk. I'm hoping they'll pull a lot from Dan Slott's run of She-Hulk comics from 2000 and whatever, 2003, 2004, because that's one of my favorite comic book runs ever. I've said that a couple times here on the show. It's my absolute one of my favorite comic book runs ever, and I'm hoping that they'll do some of the stuff that he did because he had a really fun, entertaining comic book story idea that he had set up and going, and I think it would translate well into television.
Look forward to it.
On the Star Wars end, we have a number of things that we know are coming up this next next year as well. We have Ahsoka, we have season 2 of The Mandalorian, we have Book of Boba Fett, which season 3. Sorry, yes, season 3 of Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, which just started, more or less. By the time you guys are listening to it, first episode just dropped, and that will be running into the year. Yeah.
Christopher.
Is Obi-Wan Kenobi coming in 2022? Yep. Yes.
Obi-Wan Kenobi's coming in 22, and Andor isn't Andor coming in? I think this year as well.
I think so. I think they've started on that.
I know they've started on that because they on Disney Plus Day they gave us a little bit more of a clip into that.
Which series is the one that's going to focus more on like the I don't want to say like the magic force side or the dark side of Star Wars? I forgot. Was it? I forgot the name of it though. It may not. I could be wrong though. I knew it was focusing more like on the dark side.
I think Star Wars stories in his head. I don't know.
There is something, and
I probably forgot. But let me look it up.
I don't think it's one of those series. At least it's nothing that we're getting anytime soon. But yeah, I think
it's the Acolyte. The Acolyte.
Oh yeah, that's way out there too.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one much further down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Of these upcoming ones, though, I think personally, as much as I love The Mandalorian and I'm looking forward to these other ones, Ahsoka is the one that I have the most. I get the most giddy over.
Yeah, you're pumped for that one, really?
Yeah, just because how much I have recently discovered that character and how quickly I have loved that character.
Yeah. It's a great character.
It's such an easy character to get behind.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. I feel you on that. I mean, I was thinking about that because I remember Ahsoka's character was great in Clone War and in the Clone Wars series, which was really really dope. Before it went over to Rebels, and then you got a chance to see her again in Rebels. I'm looking forward to her. I'm definitely going to sit down and check her out. So, yeah. Other than that, though, and then there's some other, series too. Like I think they also got mentioned, like Andor.
Yep.
That was I think a character. Wasn't that a character from Rogue One?
Yeah.
To focus on Rogue One. Yeah.
So this is more of a prequel series. Yes.
Yeah. That was pretty jacked about Ahsoka. We talked about Rangers of the New Republic, which is it's a television series.
Yeah.
That one, but I think got canned.
That can't. I figured that was the one. Okay.
That one got canned.
Got you. Acolyte, Screen Jump, Lando.
Oh yeah.
They're doing a Lando series.
What I'm really enjoying coming out of Star Wars right now is the slow move toward filling in between episodes 3 and 4. That you now have stuff like that you do have Solo and Rebels and Rogue One, and now you're starting to also see like what's the Bad Batch, which
Bad
starts
Batch,
high, which takes you a little bit past episode 3. What happens just after episode 3? And they've done some great things with Bad Batch to sort of tie episode 3 is now tied to Rebels, or Solo. The Paul Bettany character from Solo appears briefly in an episode of Clone Wars, and you're starting to slowly tie those. And you're going to see that with Andor. Yeah. You're going to see that with Obi-Wan. You're going to see that with Lando. Just starting to pull those films and make a more cohesive story. It saves. Despite all my grumbling and grousing a few minutes ago, it saves episode 3 for me. I can now watch episode 3. I'll watch episode 3 as a finale to Clone Wars, and then dive right into Bad Batch from there, and go from Bad Batch into Solo and Rebels. And I'm looking forward to. Even then, it's kind of disjointed, so I'm looking forward to being able to see that thread a little finer and a little clearer. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, no.
And they're starting to do it, and they're starting to do it on the other end of things too, coming out of 6, because have the Mandalorian leading into the Book of Fett and Ahsoka,
which goes into the Force Awakens from its snap. The Force Awakens.
Yeah. True.
So,
unfortunately, I think another. Speaking of things that got canned or put it on the shelf indefinitely, Star Wars Rogue Squadron, the one that was supposed to be Patty Jenkins' movie. Yeah, I think took a backseat.
I read something about that recently. I thought they were still moving forward on it, but not moving forward as quickly as they were going to be moving forward on it. I thought was the last thing I heard.
Honestly, you know more than I do. All I just knew that they put that movie on the shelf, and I guess maybe they weren't liking the direction. That could probably be it. They probably weren't really digging the direction that they were hoping for. So they're like, Patty, you're going to take a backseat for the moment until we work on these other projects.
Yeah, last thing I saw is that she's focusing on Wonder Woman 3 and then Rogue Squadron.
Yeah.
She dropped from Gal Gadget's Cleopatra to work on Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So with how Falcon and the Winter Soldier did, I'm sure Disney's really trying to dine and wine her to make sure that she follows through on Rogue Squadron after Wonder Woman 3, which was the same thing that what's his name did with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
Because he did the new Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And that he's like, all right, I have to finish this up because I committed to that first, and then I'm going to come back and do Guardians 3, which we do have the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special coming at the end of 2022 as well.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got a November 2021's Rogue Squadron delayed but not canceled.
Canceled, yeah. And that the person who bounced between Suicide Squad, that's James Gunn.
Thank you.
James
Right.
Gunn.
I haven't had
yeah.
any eggnog this evening.
Yeah.
I've had too much.
Yeah. No, yeah, it was a holiday special. And is he also doing I Am Groot, or he's not having any? He has no involvement with that.
I don't think he's actually directly involved with I Am Groot. Those are just a bunch of shorts. No,
Okay.
Kristen Lepore is director of that. I don't see his name credited at this time to any of it. Nope. Foggy and Kristen Lepore are the only names attached to the production end, and Stanley, of course. But yeah, so that's we'll see that sometime soon as well. But he is going to be directly involved in the Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout ride in Epcot, because at the same time that they're filming the movie, they're filming scenes for that attraction, which makes me think that Nova Prime will be possibly coming back in Guardians 3 because she's going to be in the attraction.
Cool.
So that would just be too easy and too convenient.
Awesome.
But that's, again, speculation. No real proof on that. We also had the What If series, which I thought was very interesting. Glad that we're getting a season 2 of that. Not sure about the Marvel Zombies. I enjoyed the one episode. I don't know if I need a whole season of it.
Yeah.
See where we go with that.
I think it's one of those situations where, again, digging into the Z list of things, and you can even extend that to some parts of the multiverse where, it kind of gives MCU an excuse to, okay, we can pull out all these other characters now that we've opened this door, and we can tell different stories and different shows, and from different universes and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's all I have to say.
And then, not on the either Marvel or Star Wars side, you had the Doug Day series, which I thought was brilliant. Chippendale Park Life, which was a very interesting take on those characters. And a few other ones that I know have come out and I haven't gotten to, or just haven't piqued my interest. Some cooking shows, which strangely enough, my boys love the cooking shows, and have at it, to watch as much of that as you want. So you've had a number. You had the Will Smith one that just came out as well, for the Nat Geo side. You had a number of things on there.
And didn't Chris Hainsworth come up with his own kind of show like that as well?
Yes, he does.
For National Geographic.
Yeah, and it's a crazy one too.
Yeah, it's him like doing some crazy stuff, and because he's worried about being old, and so it's like, I'm gonna do all crazy stuff.
Yeah, it's let's see if I can find it here. Why is it not immediately? I don't think it's out yet, though, is it? Or did it drop already?
It's Limitless.
Yes.
With Chris Hainsworth.
So that seems like it could be interesting. Kind of more intense on that one.
Yeah, with that and that Geo.
Yeah. Flipping to the movie side, you had Soul come out with Jamie Foxx. That was a fun one. That was interesting. A lot deeper than I think a lot of people were expecting it to be. Raya and the Last Dragon. You had Cruella, which I think that got the split treatment. That went to theaters and into to Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're already rolling a sequel on that one. Black Widow, we'd mentioned. Luca was straight to Disney Plus. Jungle Cruise. Safety. And The Muppets Haunted Mansion
Yeah.
are some of the bigger things that came out this year.
You know, I feel like you went through that list. I forgot that a lot of those films came out.
It's been a long
this
year.
Yeah, it has been. Yeah, it's been a long year of just a lot of backfilling, a lot of movies and shows that were supposed to come out, 2 years before. So it's just kind of shoving all that, in our throats at the moment, which you feel like some of it was a bit forgettable, and then as well, you just totally forgot.
Yeah. It's some of it's a matter of we have this, we don't have anywhere else to put it, so let's stick it here so we can keep pumping up content to the Disney Plus side. The other part is some of this stuff is where were we able to find it? Was it this coming to theaters? Was it coming to Disney Plus? And we did have a point in time that we were kind of getting lost at, okay, where do I have to go to be able to see this content?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then they fixed that once you got to likes of Shang-Chi. Eternals finally came out. Encanto just came out this year, which I have not seen either of those last two. Spider-Man No Way From Home, saw that, talked about last week. Still fantastic. If you haven't gotten to see it, go see it. It is, speaking of, paying homage to fans that does that and more. Free Guy finally got released after getting bounced around several times.
Yeah, I heard it wasn't that bad.
I seems interesting, but not for the kids, from my understanding. I've been meaning to check it out. Ron's Gone Wrong, that got released, and West Side Story finally came out. Steven Spielberg's West Side Story just hit theaters. I might see it at some point.
Is that under Fox?
Yes.
Okay.
That was a already contracted Fox movie that had been worked on, and I guess
Well,
I
then,
don't.
I'm definitely looking forward to see West Side Story. Actually, that's one of my favorite musicals.
Oh well, there you go. Modern take on. I mean, and to have Steven Spielberg finally getting his hands on a musical and having at it, it should be interesting. I am highly intrigued.
Yeah.
I am highly intrigued to see his take on it. Outside of the movie end, you had Walt Disney World having its 50th anniversary, and Genie Plus came to the parks. Not necessarily with the best reception.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. But I'm sure I'm missing some stuff. You guys have anything?
No, that's pretty much it. I
got nothing. You got nothing?
I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good on that.
Yeah, so I mean that's pretty much been the year. The year on our end, we've had some amazing guests on the show here, besides the likes of you two wonderful gentlemen who like to keep me entertained and talking. We've had some wives come on. My wife Kim's been on. Your wife came on too. I think you don't have a wife yet, so she can't come.
No.
But yeah, they actually came on the show.
Should we do a show where I come on as Isaac's wife?
We could.
We should do it. Try it. Let's do it.
Next year, when we talk about 2002,
I'll introduce you as Isaac's wife.
You can introduce me as Isaac's wife, and we'll see how it goes.
I'm down for it. Perfect.
Okay.
We had Rick Lyons on to talk about the wonderful job that they did on the Muppet Vision 3D. Steve Lewis of the Gideon's Bakehouse, the genius behind there, and comic book nerd. Mike Crave, manager at the Everglades, and Art Smith Homecoming, and Splitsville down at Disney Springs. was on talking to us, and the intellectual and beautiful Stefania Bell to talk about the Project 11 series that you did and working at ESPN. So it's been a busy and productive year. We've covered a lot of ground. And as I say every year, I am truly blessed to have you guys along with me on this journey and to help cover this ground and every year. So thank you guys for always helping out and coming at sometimes the last minute text. Hey, wait, let's talk about this now.
Yep.
Our 40th anniversary Great Muppet Caper talk was the last minute. I want to talk about Great Muppet Caper. Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that.
Sure. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Nothing. Want to talk about the Great Muppet Caper? Okay.
Hey, see you in 5 minutes.
All right.
When no better also besides that one time, but when the unfortunate passing of Chadwick Boseman, and Isaac reached out, was like, let's do an emergency recording. Literally, I think we put that together in 10 minutes.
Yeah. We were really quick with that, man. No, it's been good, man. It's been good. I've been happy that I've been really honored that you kind of allowed me to be on this journey with you guys, man. It's been a pleasure, to be able to kind of use, say my opinions and be able to give me a voice on this platform. So I really do appreciate that. I'm very grateful for that.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, we got to speak to, I forgot, we spoke Lou Mangello. We got to speak to him about Falcon and Winter Soldier. We did our review with him. And I think I got Dan Z on at some point. I usually have him on at least once a year. So yeah, it's been another great year of talking with people and having people listening to us talk, and just explore all these fun things that we enjoy, be it Marvel, be it Star Wars, be it Muppets, be it just complete nonsense. It's despite what the world has been throwing at us in life, this is always, I find, a nice, wonderful, enjoyable escape. To talk to you two gentlemen and or sometimes by myself. But to be able to listen,
and sometimes you have us on just so you can talk to yourself.
Yeah, like right now.
Hey.
Who had the eggnog? But again, it just me trying to say thank you. Thank you for another year. Thank you for so many memories and so much wonderful moments. And I look forward to what 2022, what discussions we lie ahead. We've already promised M that you'll be back on the show for Ahsoka. Sorry, Isaac, you've been booted.
It's all right.
Would you like me to come on as Isaac's daughter? I could do that.
Well, that'd be weird. That is his wife and daughter.
Yeah,
it's a weird casting call there, but
what Isaac does in his spare time.
It's very questionable. It's very questionable. Yeah, now it's getting into weird. Now it's getting a little bit into weird territory. Oh man.
I'm flexible. I can be. I'll do either one. Whatever he wants me. If Isaac wants me to be his daughter, I'll be his daughter. If it wants me to be his wife, I'll be his wife.
This week, the role of Isaac's wife will be played by the understudy Matthew Leonard, who would typically be seen as his daughter, but it will be filled with the understudy part of Matt Leonard's cat.
Yeah,
he's a one-man monologue.
I'm a one-man something.
Have we ever discussed what he does with felt?
Oh no.
Me or Isaac?
Do I want to know?
Because if Isaac's married to his daughter, I don't want to know what he does with felt.
Yeah, I just don't know how I got dragged into this. Throughout this whole.
I don't know.
God.
Oh.
Man. I just want the pain to stop.
Don't we all?
And on that bombshell, wishing everyone a happy, healthy, and safe New Year, and we'll see you on the other side of the calendar. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you, man.
Well, there you have it. 2021, somewhat. Now in the rearview window. What are some of your highlights, some of your memories? Join the conversation and join us on the social networks. Our Facebook group is facebook.com/group/Disney Marvels Podcast. Our Instagram is at Disney Marvels Podcast, TikTok at Disney Marvels Podcast, and on the Twitter at Disney Marvels. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can catch the audio feeds of the show and occasionally some other stuff as well. You can leave us a voice message through the Anchor app and or Anchor.fm website, or record something on your smart device, your computer, and electronically email it to us, along with any suggestions or questions you may have, to disneymarvels@gmail.com. Don't forget to check out the Disney Marvels blog at disneymarvels.blogspot.com, and links to all of these are in the show notes. I want to thank you for your time. It's that crazy time of the year, and I appreciate that we get to spend this time together. Thank you so much. I just ask, please share about the show. Tell people that you're watching. Share it out on the social networks. Share the link. Tell people about it. Or least you could do, please go on to your either Apple Podcast or however you're listening to it, and leave us a rating. Leaving ratings helps other people find out about the show and know what's going on. So far on Apple Podcasts, we have all 5-star reviews, which again always blows me away. I count my blessings every day, and you folk that listen to us week in, week out, occasionally we don't get around to it every week, but all the weeks that we do get to put a episode out, whatever it may be, that you keep coming back and listening, really does a lot for me and my other hosts as well. We really appreciate it, and we're really thankful for you every year, every day. Thank you for joining us on this adventure. Like I said, if you have a moment, please go onto the websites, the podcast sites, and leave a review. Let people know about this show. It helps grow the family, because like Walt thought, a big family, he liked a big family. I enjoy a big Disney family. Don't forget to subscribe to the show while you're at it. This is where you'll always know when a new episode is posted. And while you're at it, consider becoming a premium subscriber. Help the show out. You can do this over at anchor.fm/DisneyMarvels/support to find us, or find us on our Patreon page, where you can check out, you can get some cool Disney stuff that way, depending on what level you sign up with. Or check out our merchandise shop, where you get some cool, fun Disney Marvel stuff. I got a t-shirt, I got a nice jacket, a sweater jacket. Getting a little too cold for that now, but I can wear it inside the house if it's getting a little extra cold, and it's really comfortable. The shirt's been holding up well, the jacket's been holding up well, the images hold up nicely. Check it out. Make some great gifts, belated Christmas presents, upcoming birthday presents, New Year presents, any day presents. Links to all these are in the show notes, because remember, this show is brought to you by listeners like you. The other day, I saw this poster, and I had to take a picture of it, because I always do this part at the end. I always try to think of a new way to phrase it. And this poster, it sums it up well. It says, in Japan, Broken objects are often repaired with gold. The flaws is seen as a unique piece of the object's history, which adds to its beauty. Consider this when you're feeling broken. I couldn't agree more, and said so eloquently. Now I'd like to end this year's show, with a quote from Walt Disney himself. Equally important and absorbing, both as information and as sheer entertainment, will be our ventures into the world of the invisible and the inaudible. Think of the process going on in the man's body and the function of his mind. Again, that's Walt Disney. Thank you again for listening, everybody. And I'll see you next time. Happy New Year again.